All right, now let's get into the 3x1 version, which is going to be to the field typically. We're still going to work the same read principles, except once again, we don't want to throw field comebacks. Okay, so we're going to eliminate the comeback option. So the guy running the circle read now has the freedom to just take off. He knows he's going to run a go. There's not going to be a comeback. So he's just going to take off on a circle. Now, our rule on read, if you're the number 3 receiver, you have what's called a hash route, okay, which is a lot of people's over or climb route. We're going to go over linebackers if we can. We want to be able to climb the mic unless it just gets to a point where that's unrealistic, okay, which is typically for us, I mean, it's going to be 15 yards. Okay, so usually we feel like we can get over that guy, and then we're going to work in towards the hash area. And what we want to be able to do is allow the quarterback to throw you across the hash most of the time. Okay, there's a little bit of feel to this route. It's got some Y cross-ish type coaching points, and it's something you've got to work. This version of read is not something that we've run a ton of. We're now going to something that we'll go over later, which is more of a 4-strong version of this is what we really like. But we're usually going to incorporate a drag. Okay, and so the teaching we went over with the corner version carries over where we've got a chase concept where if we look and I as the quarterback have got my eyes as soon as I get into my drop, if this corner is chasing that drag, that really gives me the chance that I'm going to unlock the hash route. Okay, if I see that corner dropping and he becomes a factor in me being able to throw that, then my eyes immediately are off that, and now I'm to the seam read triangle in my vision. Okay, so that's the way we read it. It's just that same idea of, do I have a chase corner? Okay, I'm going to look at the possibility of throwing this. If I'm getting that corner dropping, then he's probably going to midpoint and drop back to a third and take away any chance that I've got of throwing that route. So the first version of it, it actually doesn't work the way it's supposed to. I've got a deeper corner, okay, but the corner's not really paying attention. The quarterback feels like he can fit it in, so he does, and we get an explosive play. But notice how quickly the corner's there. So this is really something that we don't want. If that corner's dropping, then we would prefer not to try and fit this ball in, okay? That's not good, despite the fact that we have a successful play on that version. Okay, that's not going to be something that holds up time and again. Here's you getting, this is when we're not as focused. We're actually allowing him to dig at this point if he feels like he's got man technique. And even though he doesn't have man technique, he doesn't wrap in the hole, but the quarterback's able to make a really good throw. What we'd really rather him have is as he climbs, now he's going to snap. He's going to wrap right into the hole and be able to catch the ball there in all this space. We've also got the drag coming across, so we're going to end up with that as an outlet, and this is a pretty effective way to throw drags if that's something that you're trying to find a way to do. Okay, here's an example of the drag. Okay, so notice at the top we've got a bust on the circle read because he's not allowed to run a comeback on that, even though he definitely is capped. It's not something we're going to do. He should be running the circle and be right up the numbers. We don't have a good seam read route. Okay, we push in, so these are not always perfect. We should snap and wrap right in this hole, and we're going to be able to get a throw in there. Okay, but that stuff doesn't work. So when it goes bad, does the quarterback have a trouble outlet? Well, he does. He's able to move, get the ball to the drag, and we end up getting a really nice gain on nothing but dumping the ball off to a good player. Okay, it's just don't panic. Find your check down and let him do the work.